If I could give you any advice about soft glam makeup, it would be to trust the process. Soft glam involves a lot of layering, okay? You need to learn how to layer makeup in a way that it doesn't look too much, too heavy, too cakey, but you also need to learn how to apply enough makeup so that it looks flawless. It gives you that airbrushed, beautiful effect. And that's not always easy to achieve, so I thought I would make this video and walk you through step by step how to achieve this soft glam makeup look. This is my go-to, it never fails me, so if you want to learn how to achieve this, keep on watching. First things first, I want to add a little bit of skincare. This is going to prevent our foundation from looking too heavy and too cakey, and it's going to give our skin a really nice juicy look, and it's going to prep our skin amazingly for makeup. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this Rhode Glazing Milk. I'm going to drop just a few drops of that into my palm. This is my favorite for skin prep. It's so good. I like to rub my hands together and really just coat my palms with that product before pressing it into my skin, and this just feels so nice. It's very light on the skin, it's not heavy, and for me, there's nothing worse than when your skincare pills underneath your makeup, and this has literally never done that, so this is kind of my go-to when I want my makeup to look good and apply well. In my opinion, foundation can either make or break your soft glam look. You don't want anything that's too heavy and gonna look too cakey and makeup-y, because then that's not gonna look soft, but you also want a little bit of coverage. You want your skin to look perfected, so I have the perfect foundation. I'm going in with the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and I am using a new shade. This is the shade Mont Blanc. I'm usually between two of their shades, but this one looks like it might work. Maybe it'll be a little too dark. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's try it out. I'm gonna start with a couple pumps of that on the back of my hand. And I'm just gonna start by applying that with my fingers and just applying a really rough, light first layer of that foundation. Okay, so I have a really rough layer of that foundation. It looks not too bad. It looks a little dark, but I have a feeling once I go in with my concealer and all that stuff, it'll be fine. I'm just taking my Hourglass foundation brush and pressing this foundation into the skin. I don't want to drag too much because I really want to avoid streakiness. So I'm just taking my time to work this into the skin. This is applying beautifully on top of that Rhode Glazing Milk. That base gave us a really nice slippery layer, so the foundation really just melts into the skin. Since this foundation actually is a little dark for me, I'm going to take that foundation down my neck just to blend them a little bit better. I'm wearing something a little bit more high neck later, so honestly it's not gonna matter, but I think I'm gonna have to go back to mixing those two shades. I just can't seem to find my exact shade in this foundation, but it's not too bad. I don't know, what do you guys think? I really like the coverage this foundation gives. It gives even coverage, but it doesn't make your skin look heavy at all. You can still kind of see my skin poking through. You can see the light reflecting off my skin. It really just gives your skin a natural but flawless finish, which in a foundation is pretty much all I could ever want. My worst nightmare is when foundations look like a mask on me. So this one does not do that. Next, I like to go in with contour because I do like to clean it up a little bit with concealer afterwards. So I'm going in with the Too Faced Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick in the shade Milk Chocolate. And I'm applying that in the hollows of my cheeks to give me some definition. And I'm applying a little bit of that to the sides of my forehead just to give my forehead a little bit of a smaller appearance. I'm going in with my Morphe M245 Cream and Liquid Contour Brush and just melting that into the skin. This is one of the creamiest, most butteriest bronzer sticks I've ever tried. I actually really highly recommend this one. It smells good, it blends amazing, and I actually really like the color range too. Some are a little warmer, some are a little cooler. I personally like a little cooler. And then whatever's left on my brush, I just like to swipe a little bit on the sides of my nose. This doesn't need to be too precise, just really softly tapping it. Now we're gonna go in with concealer, and I won't shut up about this concealer. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. It is my favorite concealer ever. I'm going to be mainly focusing that underneath my eyes and in the center points of my face, but I'm also going to put a little bit of that right underneath where we applied that contour. That's going to really sharpen up that area and make it look even more defined and lifted. To blend that out, I'm using my little Rare Beauty concealer brush. I love this one. And again, just melting that concealer into my skin. This concealer is a medium to buildable coverage. I like this for a soft glam makeup because it does give me that perfected look, but again, nothing too heavy, nothing too cakey, and I also find that this one does not crease into my fine lines like other concealers do. I think this is my third tube of this concealer. I just absolutely love it. I have not tried anything quite like it. All right, now moving on to blush. This is another product I have not been able to put down lately. I've been loving it so much and it's so affordable. This is the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Peach Perfect. And these are really pigmented, so you only need a tiny dot on each cheek, but these blend like butter. And again, they give you so much pigment without looking overpowering. I personally really love the shade and I would recommend it to my fellow fair-skinned girls. It is just the perfect peachy pink for every day. I just think that's the perfect peachy pink, and then the blush combo at the very end of this video, stay tuned. So phase 1 of the base is done. All of our creams are applied. So that means we're gonna let it marinate. We're gonna move on to the eyes. But before we do that, I'm gonna go in with a little Charlotte Tilbury setting spray to melt everything together. This will also make your makeup last way longer throughout the day. Moving on to eyes. So for a soft glam look, I like my eyes to be a little bit extra defined, but I don't want to go for like a graphic eye or something that extreme. So I'm gonna show you how I build definition, but in a really soft and natural way. It's all about layering. So the first layer is actually going to be a cream. I'm going in with the Victoria Beckham Contour Stylus. And I'm just gonna begin carving out the shape that I want to achieve with this look. So I'm pretty much following my natural eye shape, and I'm not applying too much of this. I'm just sort of roughly sketching out that general sort of outline that I want my shadow to be in. Keep in mind, this contour is only a couple shades darker than my skin. You don't wanna go in with anything too dark for this step. Once I have the shape I want, I'm going in with a Rephr 12 brush just to blend in those edges. You really just want to soften and diffuse this color out so that it's not super noticeable. Okay, so that is what the eyes are looking like at this stage. Nothing too intense, which is exactly what we want. We just want a little rough outline for what we're about to do. Next, I'm going to grab my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Neutral palette. This is my favorite palette for creating a neutral eye. And taking a fluffy Rephr 15 brush, I'm just mixing these two shades together to create my perfect crease color, which is going to be a couple shades deeper than your skin tone, aka probably your contour shade. And then using windshield wiper motions, we're going to apply that right on top of where we applied that cream shadow. We're just building up the intensity here. Working in layers is going to give us more of an airbrushed effect. It's going to be softer, it's going to be lighter, and it's going to be less patchy than if you would just go straight in with one shade. This allows us to slowly build up the intensity while remaining really in control of the finished result, so you're not going to end up getting like raccoon eyes by the end of it. And while we're here, I'm actually going to run that exact same color combo on my lower lash line as well. I find this gives me control on my lower lash line so I don't end up looking too overly smoky. I feel like sometimes that can ruin a look. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good foundation for eyeshadow. We've got a little soft smoky action, but now I kind of want a little razzle dazzle. So I'm going in with the Victoria Beckham Lid Luster in the shade Chiffon. This is probably one of the prettiest lid toppers I've ever used in my life. I just love it so much. It's this like champagne-y, bronzy, just stunning color. I like to pick it up on my finger. And then I like to just messily press it all over my lid. This shade is just like the softest gold, bronzy, champagne color, and it just blends so easily. This is really good actually if you're like on the go and you just want to get your eyes done quickly. This is such a good one and done shade. Like, look how beautiful. Every time I go for a soft glam look, I pick this shade up. I just cannot help it. I am obsessed. And for a soft glam look, I like to add just a touch more definition. So I'm going in with this little tiny Rephr 13 brush, and I'm going in with a little bit of a darker brown, this one right here in the bottom corner. Very softly with a very light hand, I'm just running it through my crease. I'm keeping this pretty contained. I'm not trying to smoke it out too much. I'm basically just going along the contours of my eye socket, basically just defining that outer V area. I feel like that step actually makes a pretty big difference with the finished product of the eye look, but now let's move on to the next step. Some of you may know I actually like a more softer eyeliner look, especially with a soft glam look. I personally like to go with a dark espresso brown and an eyeshadow liner, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Just using that exact same palette, I'm going in with this dark brown shade here, and I'm using this Prada eyeliner brush, and this is such a good brush. It's so heavy, it's so tiny. And I'm just using that to create my winged liner. I'm trying to stick pretty close to the lash line, just stamping that along my lash line area, swooping it up to create a nice baby wing, not too far out so it's too dramatic, but I do want the wing to be visible, and I really want to achieve that lifted effect. To complete the liner on a soft glam look, you cannot forget to line your waterline. So I'm going in with the Dior waterproof creamy eyeliner pen in the shade Matte Black, and I am just applying that in my waterline. This is gonna really make the lashes look longer. It's gonna make the look more expensive looking, more complete. To me, this is a crucial step if you are going for something a little bit more glam than normal. What I love about this eyeliner is it stays in place all day. I hate when an eyeliner is applied in the waterline and then by the end of the day, it's all over your lower lashes. It's like, what even is the point? This one is pricey, but it doesn't do that. So to me, it's worth it. Another little step I like to do in my soft glam makeup looks is a little bit of a nude liner in the waterline. So I'm going in with my Sweet Bright Satin Kohl liner and just applying that in the waterline. This is gonna make us look a little more awake. It's gonna bring a little more attention to the eyes. I just find it really flattering. I also like to use a nude color instead of white because I do find it looks a little bit less harsh. It makes your eyes look bigger without looking kind of garish and like creepy doll-like. Sometimes I find the white kind of gives that effect. This shade in particular is actually the most natural looking shade I've been able to find on the market, and I've tried a lot of nude liners, so I really recommend this one. Now, what soft glam look would be complete without some lashes? I am going in with the cluster lash today. These ones are by Own Beauty Essentials. These are their cluster mix 10, 12, and 14 millimeter. They look like this. They are really pretty. I like these lashes a lot, but you can use any cluster lash that you want. Now, I'm not gonna go too crazy with these. I really just want to enhance the outer corner. So I'm going in with a 12 millimeter lash for my outer corner. This is a little bit longer. And I'm just gonna press that nice and close to my lashes. I am gonna apply mascara after, so don't worry about that step. I'm gonna blend everything together once I have the lashes applied. And then one more 12 millimeter lash right next to that one. And then for my next lash, I'm going with something a little shorter. I'm using the 10 millimeter and plopping that right next to that last lash we applied. And this is gonna take us about 2/3 of the way in, and I think I'm gonna stop right here. This is what we're looking like, no mascara yet. This is the first eye complete. I'm gonna let that glue dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and hop off camera and do the other eye, so I will be right back. All right, so my other eye's done. I'm still kind of waiting for the glue to dry a little bit, but I'm impatient, so I'm gonna go in with mascara now. I'm going in with one of my favorites at the moment. This is the Victoria Beckham Vast Lash Smudge Free Volumizing Mascara. And for me, honestly, I like my mascara to look pretty natural. I don't want anything too insanely volumizing. I would rather it look kind of like my lashes, but lengthened and not clumpy. I hate clumpy mascara. This one does not clump. So I'm just blending my natural lashes in with those falsies. I would recommend waiting for the glue to dry a little bit longer because I think I'm already lifting a little bit of a lash, but that's okay. I'll just pinch them together. Okay, so I think the eyes are pretty much done. I'm gonna move on to lips now. I'm gonna go in with the new Merit Signature Lip Sheer Lip Liner in the shade Bespoke. This is a bit more of a brownie liner, and this is my first time trying it, so let's see how it applies. Right off the bat, I can tell that this liner is not designed to be long wearing. It's definitely giving a very sheer, almost jelly texture, which is unlike anything I've ever tried, to be honest. I quite like the color. I think the color is beautiful. It looks like a very natural contour to the lips. I don't know if I would recommend this for like a long night out unless you don't mind touching it up, but they don't claim to be a long wearing lip liner, so they know what they are. More of a natural, soft lip liner look, and I kind of like it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. For lipstick, I'm going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Runway Royalty lipstick, and I'm just applying that all over the lips as my base lip color. This is the prettiest nude. I have been loving this shade. That actually goes so good with that lip liner. This combo is really nice. I do want it a little bit more nude though, so I'm gonna go in with this P. Louise You Give Me the Ick palette. I think I'm gonna take like a mixture of these two corner shades just on my finger. You could use concealer if you want. You could use another nude lipstick, but I'm just gonna tap that in with my finger just to make this a little more pale because I love a pale nude. I'm I'm gonna finish off the lips before I finish off the rest of the face. I'm going in with my Charis Cosmetics Water Gloss. This is the glossiest, glassiest, wet looking gloss I've ever seen. And yes, I guess I'm a little biased because I created this lip gloss from scratch, but this formula is unlike anything I've ever tried. It gives your lips a beautiful, plush, plump looking effect without a burning sensation. It feels like a very cool glass of water for your lips. And the silicone applicator makes it so that your lip combo doesn't get all messed up. Okay, so now to finish the rest of the face, I'm gonna go into some powders. I want my under eyes to look a little bit more bright, so I'm going in with my Laura Mercier Secret Under Eye Brightening Powder. I actually just did a video right before this one all about powders, so I'll link that in the description and on the screen if you want to know what powders I recommend for different skin types, makeup looks, that kind of thing. I use a puff with this one. This just happens to be one of my favorites. I pick it up on the puff and then I press it into the back of my hand just to make sure I don't have any uneven powder application. And then I go ahead and just tap this into my under eye. And this is gonna give me a very brightened effect, but it's also gonna keep my concealer in place all day long, which is great for a soft glam makeup look. Plus, this is so finely milled, it's not gonna crease like crazy. And yes, this is different from the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is a completely different formula. I like this one a lot more than the just regular Laura Mercier Setting Powder. I think this is severely underrated. For the rest of my face, I want quite a blurred effect. So of course, I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder. This is one of my all-time favorite powders. It just blurs the skin. It makes me look like I'm wearing a filter in real life. And it also helps my makeup last a really long time. I like to apply this anywhere I get oily, like around my mouth, my forehead, in the center of my face, anywhere I want blurred. And because I have blush blindness, I do want a little bit more color on the cheek, and I recently just discovered this blush, and it just has my heart. I've been using it every day. Oh, it's so good. This is the NARS blush in the shade Cherish. Look at this color. This is a limited edition Valentine's Day kind of thing. I think the limited edition is still available, but I might be wrong. I think they have this color just in their regular line as well. I'm not totally sure, but this color, if you can get it now, because I'm not totally sure if it is like a limited thing. This is definitely for the pale girlies. This is like a very pale, peachy blush with a little bit of glowy shimmer in it, but it's so subtle. It's not like chunky glitter or anything like that. Look at that shade. Oh my gosh, I love so much. Is that not one of the prettiest blush shades you've ever seen? I'm literally obsessed. And for a soft glam look, it's just perfect. I do want a little bit of glow. My skin is very matte, but I want a little glow. I don't want to look greasy. I don't want to look glittery. I just want to look healthy. So I'm going to go in with this highlight stick by Merit. This is their highlighting balm in the shade Cava. I like to take this on my finger just to warm it up a little bit. And let me just show you how pretty this highlight is. It's not glittery, it's more like on the pearly side, but it's not too oily and greasy either. I don't know, I'm kind of picky about highlighters. Also, when I'm putting highlighter on top of my makeup, I don't want it to like ruin everything underneath, and this one is just so good. I just like to press that into my skin with my finger. And you see how I get that really pretty, like healthy glow, but it's not like greasy or blinding too much. It's just like kind of, I don't know, that healthy glow to the skin. I do like to apply this pretty high on my cheekbones because I do find this kind of lifts like my bone structure almost. It gives me the illusion of higher cheekbones. I could bathe in this stuff. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose too. This looks really cute as a nose highlight. A little bit right here too. Oh my gosh, okay, perfect. And that is it for my ultimate go-to soft glam makeup look. I wear this to events. I wear this when I know I'm getting my photo taken. I always get so many compliments on this makeup look. So let me know if you recreate this look. And if you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It takes 2 seconds and it really does help support me so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.